In a world full of broken promises and endless scams, where do you find something truly reliable? You remember when you were a kid and you made a promise? Then if you really wanted to strengthen the promise, you usually had something else to say or something else to do. We'll get back to that in a minute. And then how about the days when a man's handshake was his contract? The Magi had just experienced betrayal and deception, but then something miraculous happened. The star, their original guide, reappeared. God's promise is reliable even when our circumstances and the people around us are not. Discover how to find refreshment and recommitment when the star still shines. Welcome back to day 19 of Following the Star. We've come through the emotional low point. Hope fades. Today, we experience the powerful truth of refresh and recommit. Our theme is this: the star still shines, God's promise is reliable, even when our circumstances are not. As I said, as kids, we made promises to each other. Sometimes for added emphasis, little fingers would interlock and a pinky promise was made. I think that was more of a girl thing, but it was pretty impressive. Now, there was a time when a man's handshake was his contract. Unfortunately, today's world is more reflective of one scam after another. So much so that many of us have our settings on our phones to avoid even talking with a potential scammer. It is a sad, sad day. But deep in the Old Testament, God initiated promises and covenants, his unbreakable agreements with humanity. In fact, the Old and New Testaments are sometimes called the Old Covenant and the New Covenant, or Old Promises and New Promises. What a stark contrast to our world. Faced with danger, disappointment, and despair, after their encounter with Herod, the Magi left the palace and resumed their journey. And as soon as they turned their backs on Herod and trusted God's unseen guidance, something miraculous happened. The great sign still guided. The star which they had seen in the east now stopped over the place where the child was. This was God's direct act of refreshment and recommitment to them. The star's guidance was a powerful confirmation that God's plan was reliable, even when human circumstances were not. Even when they were treacherous and deadly. The promise had not failed. Their reliance on human logic and power had. This teaches us that God's guidance is not a one-time event, but a continuous provision, and it is visible when we need it the most. We turn away from sources of deception like Herod's false advice and step back into the path of obedience. God immediately illuminates the way. The star still shines, a beautiful metaphor for the enduring, unfailing truth of God's Word and His character. His truth doesn't flicker because your circumstances are dark. It's always there waiting for you to turn your gaze back to it. If disappointment or despair has led you off track, this is the day for recommitment. Turn your back on the source of your discouragement and confusion. Trust the initial clear vision you received, the word you studied, the star you saw. God's compassions never fail. They are new every morning. When you choose to resume the walk of faith, you will find the lamp for your feet is immediately visible, guiding you to the true destination. His guidance isn't just for the start, it's for every step, especially after a setback. Remember the promises, agreements, and covenants? They were two-way agreements. God always upholds His end. Find your refreshment and recommitment with God as simply as breathing. Exhale the disappointment, the doubt, the weariness. Then draw in the refreshing breath of His life, His faithfulness, His unwavering promise. His compassions are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. What is one truth about God's faithfulness you're breathing in and recommitting to today? Share it in the comments and we'll join you in prayer. Join us tomorrow for day 20 of Following the Star. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Blessings. See you tomorrow.